Bill's got a problem. Nothing serious, just a homework assignment. He has to prepare a 5-minute oral report. But what subject will he talk about? There are so many things that interest him. Baseball? Nature photography? And stamp collecting. Stamp collecting. Bill has a fine stamp collection. But before he makes up his mind, he'll check the list of points his teacher gave the class. Let's see. Choose a subject you can get information on. Bill has that. A subject of interest to you. Yes. Of interest to the class. Yes, he thinks so. Limited enough for the time you have? Yes, Bill feels that stamp collecting is not too broad. He can talk about his foreign stamps. And about his American stamps, of which he has many different kinds. So that's settled, and the report isn't due until Monday.
But it's due Monday, Bill.
I know. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, real good. Have you done your report yet?
Not much to do. I'm going to talk on stamp collecting, and I know about that.
But you still have to practice it, don't you?
Well, okay, I'll go through it. You check me out.
Do you have an outline? You know how Mr. Lawson is about outlines.
I don't need one. You'll see.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I'll start now. Well, I like to collect stamps, and, well, I have many of them. This album has stamps from many countries. I mean companies that advertise in the paper. I also get a great number of stamps from my uncle, who is an importer.
Bill doesn't seem sure of himself, and he doesn't seem prepared.
Stamps. I mean a letter from them. He sends me the stamps, like these.
Carl's not impressed.
I certainly intend to keep on collecting stamps. It's a kind of hobby that you never get tired of. You can keep collecting, well, you can keep collecting all your life.
Now Bill is in the last portion of his report.
I had some United States stamps. Aren't these interesting? I hope you can see them. They're statehood issues. I have quite a few of these. And then I got some, I have some stamps on American authors. Oh no, these are American composers. I have a series on American authors too. As you can see, it's a very nice series. Very pretty and, well, very nice. I think it's fun collecting stamps. I think you'll think it's fun, too. And interesting. That wasn't very good, was it, Carl? I do know a lot about stamp collecting, but it's hard to explain.
Maybe you're trying to do too much. You've got foreign stamps and American stamps, and you mentioned states and famous people. I mean, what am I supposed to get out of it?
Maybe I can just talk about my United States collection.
That still covers too much. You're supposed to have a central idea, remember?
How about what I learned from my United States collection?
That sounds better. Write it down. And I think you probably need an outline.
Carl is right. An outline, as their teacher suggested, will help Bill organize ideas in his topic. Carl is wondering, what books is Bill using for his report? Bill does own a few books on stamp collecting. But Carl's suggestion is good. He ought to get more material from the library. Carl's advice has been helpful. The next day, Bill begins his research in the card catalog of the library. The cards help him find a number of books on stamp collecting. The library also has magazines with current information on stamps. There is so much that Bill is going to narrow his topic down to learning American history from stamps. Later, at home, Bill has completed a new outline. He's also copied it on 3x5 cards. Learning American history from stamps. His introduction is the story of the first United States stamps. His central idea is that his collection has been useful in 3 ways. Bill has become more familiar with the achievements of famous Americans. He's learned more about the histories of the states, and he has a better appreciation of American ideals. These 3 points make up the body of the report. Bill's conclusion is a challenging suggestion to form a stamp club. Toward the end of the week, Bill rehearses again, with Carl playing the audience.
My topic is learning American history from stamps. The history of American stamps goes back to 1847, when the first stamps were issued by the United States Post Office. The first stamps honored Franklin and Washington. Well, what's the matter, Carl?
Well, you started just fine, but I don't think the whole class will be able to see the stamps. And holding the album is awkward, too. Don't you have a better way to show the stamps?
Bill has an idea. He'll show the stamps with his projector. The idea is fine. Everyone will see the stamps. Carl will operate the projector while Bill gives his report. The big day is here. Bill will give his report next. Bill seems quite confident now. Remember how he started out when he first gave his report to Carl?
I like to collect stamps, and, well, I have many of them.
Now listen to Bill's introduction.
My topic is learning American history from stamps. The history of American stamps goes back to 1847, when the first stamps were issued by the United States Post Office. The first stamps honored Franklin and Washington. Since 1847, many other famous American men and events have been commemorated by stamps. Franklin and Washington may remind us of other statesmen and presidents.
His introduction is direct and leads to the body of his report as he follows his outline.
With the achievements of other Americans. You may not be familiar with this man. He's one of the American composers I learned about from my composer series of stamps. I became interested in some of these.
The class is alert and attentive. They sense Bill's interest and excitement.
It's part of American history, too. I found out more about their music and how it can help you appreciate our country and its people. My stamps have also helped me learn more about the history of our 50 states. This stamp was issued in 1950. It commemorates the admission of California as a state in 1850. Many stamps are issued on anniversaries of important dates of history.
Bill is moving right along on his history theme. Remember his first attempt?
I told you that I had some United States stamps. Aren't these interesting?
Now Bill is well prepared and confident.
Is the date it was admitted to the Union. The 100th anniversary of that date is called the centennial. This is the Minnesota centennial stamp, 1858 to 1958. Adding the centennial to my collection helped me learn a little more about that state. These next two are for our newest states, Alaska and Hawaii, admitted in 1959.
Bill is moving into the last point of the body of the report.
But I also learned, along with great men and great events in our history, there are also great ideas. I learned some of the ideas from another group of stamps. The series is sometimes called the American Credo series. On each stamp is a quotation from a famous American. These are Washington's words, and these are Lincoln's. The patriots also include Jefferson, Patrick Henry, Benjamin Franklin, and Francis Scott Key.
Bill has almost reached his conclusion. Remember the first time he concluded his report?
I think stamp collecting is fun. I think you'll think it's fun, too, and interesting.
Now let's listen to Bill's new conclusion.
So I learned that these men shared the ideals on which our country was founded. Learning about American history is only one way that has made my stamp collecting more useful and interesting. I hope that some of you will find it interesting enough to join the new stamp club I'm organizing.
Nice job, Bill.
Yes, Bill has done a good job. His conclusion offered an invitation to the whole class. As for the entire report, do you see how choosing the right topic, limiting the topic, researching it, outlining it, and rehearsing it have paid off for Bill?